Hello, Core 3 Beauties. This is Marcos, and this is our week 4 going to week 5 recap briefing on our Core 3 topics class at Parsons. It's a busy week as we are transitioning from Project 1 to Project 2, and we're working on both projects this week. So it's important that you listen to this and watch this so you can get a full understanding of what's due. It's a little confusing, and I want to make sure everyone's clear and prepared for both the Tuesday and the Thursday class, where projects will be due on both classes. So let's go through this now and look at the week 4 to week 5 workflow that is expected. So a little bit backwards here. Project 2 is going to be due on Tuesday, the first review for Project 2, the concept presentation, and Project 1 on Thursday will be due. The final review of that project is due on Thursday. So check out the emojis, see which one most applies to you, and move forward from there. So Project 2 on Tuesday is going to be a concept presentation. I will review what that is, but basically it's the first presentation of your digital forms project, and it will showcase your format, the kind of media you'll be using or the type of medium you'll be using to create your project, and some design inspiration, as well as an initial storyboard and some preliminary layouts if you can get to that. And then on Thursday, Project 2 will be our final review. We will have everyone come with their printed final finished pieces. Please plan for that. Don't be across the hall in a panic while everyone else is presenting. And a little motivation, we will have treats and snacks as we are celebrating our first completed project and having a positive high five critique. So be ready for that. And then just while all this madness is going on, don't forget to watch your Topics 3 on motion video. And I recommend that you do that sooner rather than later because it's on motion graphics, digital motion, and it will be a perfect inspiration and information on what you can possibly do for your concept presentation for Tuesday for your digital forms project, and help you be inspired and figure out how you're gonna transform your project 1 into project 2. So check that out as soon as possible. I emailed everyone and Slacked everyone that link last week. Okay, so let's just start with Tuesday. And we went over this on Thursday, but the general overall project, we're just doing the second of 2 projects. We had our first week where we had the assignment to collect data, to collect imagery and text, and to use those collections, those items that you brought together from your adventures out in the city to create a concept that then led towards creating a physical form project around that concept. And we did that all based on the prompt of beauty in order to help inspire a certain level of work that's about objective truth, beauty, and goodness. And that each of you have created that concept and developed it into a physical forms project. And you're now on your way to getting that done by Thursday. But as you do that now, start thinking about how you can take the next step and make a digital version of that same project based on the same concept and theme and design direction. So let me just read this overview. Reflecting on what you have learned in Project 1, translate your physical form publication into a dynamic poster or online experience by translating and iterating on the ideas you have explored. Your Project 2 may follow the visual system created in Project 1, but it's not required. So basically, you can just take the design systems and the aesthetic look and feel and assets you've created and transform them and expand them further into what your digital project will be. Or if you want to take a turn into another direction based on the same concept and themes and assets in terms of the content, then yes, you can shift things around and do a different thing. Okay, so content, build upon and edit the content you've created for Project 1. The deliverables are what I'm saying are 2 choices in terms of the format. It's either a dynamic poster that interprets the content through the lens of movement, but a complex, content-rich digital poster, dynamic poster, not something basic and simple, not just a GIF. Or Even better, which I recommend, is number two, the online experience in either desktop, tablet, mobile, or all three or both. That's a clickable, high fidelity prototype. It's either a Figma prototype or a coded actual site. But basically, you're creating either a site or an app or something that has structure and has different levels of content that you can navigate through and have a full 360 experience through the digital form. And for whichever one you're doing, the deliverable is going to be the concept, design, and final presentation of this project. And those will be the assignments you get each week. Some parameters: your digital translation should include a concept, structure, navigation, typography, layout, and grid, and a cohesive visual system. Again, basing it on what you've done already or developing and transitioning into something different. The relationship between the digital experience and the overall narrative should be clear, and the audience should be defined. And I think this stuff, mostly you have this already figured out, your audience for sure, and now translating that into a digital format is your next goal. So for the dynamic poster may be a motion-based piece for social media, television streaming service, a physical installation, digital billboards, anything in that realm. And then define the audience and context for this dynamic poster. Or the online experience includes at least 3 different stories, visual or written, that connect to your concept. You can pair visual texts and from different sources into one story, include clear and consistent navigation, a method, a colophon, and at least 2 large features and 3 small stories. The form of these elements can be reinterpreted. Define whether the experience is for desktop, tablet, or mobile. The selection of the type of experience should align with the concept. And again, there are parameters here: 3 different stories, 2 large features, 3 small stories. These are guidelines for you to use to build your content around what you already have built in terms of the content you have. It may require you expand it further. Some of you have pieces that aren't that content, are more visually deep than they are content-wise. It might be time now to see how you can expand that further into deeper ideas so that you can fulfill the sort of heft that is needed in this project. So the key is going to be that you create something that fulfills a certain level of work throughout these next 3 weeks. And we're just trying to ensure you create a content-rich piece that's going to be hefty enough to fulfill the rigors that we expect for these 3 weeks of work and the design you're building and the design you've already created. Okay. And then to start this for Tuesday, we're going to have our part 1. I think there's 3 parts, maybe 4. But part 1 is concept development, due on Tuesday. Create a presentation that showcases your design concept. Again, the presentation format is what we're after here again. Continue to utilize and build a presentation you've done so far. So you should have a title slide with the name, class assignment, an intro statement outlines the assignment, a short showcase of your publication design project. And this showcase of your publication design project or your physical forms project, that's going to be required for your Thursday assignment anyway. So this should be the same thing. Like either it's 4 spreads up on a page with 3 or 4 pages, or it's like every page you just did full size to click through. Some way, just figure out a way, whether it's clicking fast or whether it's putting it all on one page, figure out how you can showcase your final project. Or it might be the physical pictures of your piece that you take. A little bit of both, I recommend, and I'll show you examples. Present your proposed digital format. So take time now to say, this is what I'm thinking about, this kind of format, this type of medium. And what might be good here is even now just where the design inspiration comes in. Show design inspiration of the kinds of pieces that interest you, that you want to kind of base your level of project on by showing design examples or design inspiration examples of digital projects. Design inspiration research mood board is what we just talked about. And then create some sort of architecture storyboard that outlines the way you plan to scope out your project in terms of the levels of content that are going to be and how they'll be arranged. And it could be simply information, or you could begin to do it in a design sketch kind of way. And then at some level, showcase some preliminary design directions as much as you can to get the project started. And of course, number 1 thing at the bottom of the list is continue to include your thank you page. Everyone has been great with having their thank you pages, and make sure you keep the A-making machine happy by always being grateful at the end of your presentations. Okay, so We're going to have these reviews on Tuesday. So it's kind of a little, you got two things going on here. You got that final print piece you're making, and you also got this going on. So this is really a true test of your discipline and your ability to focus and compartmentalize and be able to do all these things at once. So stay focused, stay positive, and make sure you're prepared on Tuesday and Thursday. So we're going to do a split class on Tuesday. And that split class meaning half the class comes for the first half and the other half comes for the second half of the class. And with the note that everyone, you're welcome to come for the full class if you want, and you can quietly work when it's not your half, or you can come in after you spend time in an environment that's suitable for working, but or maybe you're in the print lab on the other half, desperately printing your piece. So use your time wisely. But we basically switched the class sessions from our second week. So if you were in the half of the earlier half, you're now in the later half. And if you're later half, you're in the earlier half. So see your name here, and I'll email this name out, this list out on Tuesday as well. Okay, so let's look at some examples of what this project looks like. Again, basically, you're going to begin a new presentation deck that introduces what this is, and you're going to overview your publication design by showcasing these various spreads. Like here it is 4 on a page, and it showcases the full thing. And then after reminding us of what you have done for the digital project, you will then talk about your concept. And this one here is saying that they're interested in doing a dynamic poster. It's going to be 11 by 17. It's going to have 3D elements. It's going to promote the publication we just saw in terms of its theme, this kind of fictional, futuristic World's Fair look that they have going into a dynamic poster. And then they did some inspiration research and provided these various elements in a mood board to talk about how they plan on taking the static publication that we just saw on the pages here and create something with motion graphics in a dynamic poster similar to what's going on in the centerpiece. And then in the spirit of trying to do some kind of sketch mood board, storyboard, this is preliminary sketches, and this is all kind of really rough. So it's a matter of, this is probably rougher than it should be, but it's taking it to the level that you can in the time you have. And of course, the very important thank you page. And then this is another example that's a lot more thorough. So this is going to be quite, it's probably this is going to be the two wide ranges. So don't freak out how finished this one is. But here you have an assignment overview that talks about what the project is, reintroducing the concept that this student was working on, this shadows idea, like street imagery. And this is the 2550 content summarized. And now we go into reviewing the publication design. And here they're showcasing the full pagination, but they're also showing finished spreads. And there's more here on one page. And then this student had their work done before this thing. You might not be at this level yet, so don't freak out if you're not done printing. But if you are, creating pictures like this are good for what you're going to want anyway for your project, archiving them or documenting them in this way. But this is really a nice job of reminding us or showing us the project that's going on with their print piece. But now it just ends. So this is not the right thing. So let me switch to the next one here. Okay, so then from here, okay, this is the right one. The digital publication, we go to creating the assignment overview. We go into talking about the fact that this person wants to create an app and some of the features and benefits that they want to promote in this shadows theme, information collection. And so they want to do part 1 and part 2, meaning there's a collections aspect and a creation aspect. And they want to create kind of like this duo kind of site or app. And here we have some typographic proposals, color palette. And then this is a nice job of showcasing some preliminary storyboard sketches, but then they go crazy, and you don't have to go this crazy. This is more for the second project, but then they showcase even further the design development, even right down to making a Figma app that is dynamic and recorded. And don't freak out. Like if you do this, great, but this is more showing, taking it further into beginning to show what this might look like and how it might operate, which is fantastic. And maybe you have time to do this. If you do, great. But if it was just the left side here and you had, or even if it was as simple as that, no, basically it should be this page and this left side here. But if you take it to the right side here, then great. No one's going to complain. And of course, the thank you page. I believe this is for, yeah, this is, I think this is what we want to look at. Actually, no, let's go back. Okay, so we go back. I've created an update to the physical forms project. I added a part. No, I'm sorry. This is the digital forms project. And this is basically the Canvas site that has all the text that we looked at. And then there's a Google Drive right here that will connect you to the Google Drive where you should upload your concept presentation. Okay, so physical forms, and this is due on Thursday. And basically, this is where I did the wrong thing here. So basically, this is your deck for physical forms. I'm sorry, I showed it to you earlier. So this is project one, the beauty of making, an assignment overview. This is stuff you already have. You're going to just keep this stuff in here, the overview, your pagination, and then you're going to showcase your final publication design in this sort of compact way. And it doesn't have to be literally like this. It could be more extended if you want. And then they're showing the print pieces. And at the same time that they're doing this on Thursday, that you'll have your print pieces in your hand and passing around and showing everybody your finished piece while also having it in this recorded form. Okay, so sorry I confused you. This is what's due for the project on Thursday, a deck that will accompany your printed piece. So basically, we're just asking to have a companion deck that shows your final publication as well as your actual piece. And I've added a third part to the Canvas under physical forms project part one. I mean, project one, physical forms part 3, and there's a link here on the Google Drive where you can add that. And then, okay, so the Google Drive has 2 links on it. One is for Tuesday's assignment, digital forms part 1, and the link for Thursday's deck, which is digital forms part 3. Okay, and then don't forget to watch your cross topics video 4 on Motion. And I would recommend doing that before, as soon as possible, so you can get inspired on your digital projects. Okay, that is it. And everyone back to work now and have a productive time between now and Tuesday and Thursday to get as much done as possible. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, need feedback. I've already been meeting with a few people on Zoom and keeping everyone on track. So this is part of how to work. Like, I'm here accessible to you, and it's your job to reach out and connect with me as needed. Utilize me to get the best out of this project as possible. That's my job, to direct you and guide you and go beyond the quick reviews we do in class. And I'm willing to spend time as needed as you work on this throughout the week. So reach out. I'll be looking out for you. And in the meantime, good luck with what you're doing. Have a good, restful weekend, but also be rigorous and work hard. No falling in love. Break up with that boyfriend as needed. And get this thing done by being focused and inspired and having high standards of excellence in order to achieve the best possible outcome, because I know you guys have it in you. Remember, our cups are half full, and we're looking for beauty in all we do and to inspire others in the work we do in our design. All right, guys, keep going. See ya.